Hello, Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, views, subscribes, comments, donations, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's ring the bell. Let's clear out the energy, and we'll just see what the message the Spirit has for us today. The past came back around. Something that somebody said came back around, and they couldn't get past it. Bottom of the deck, live out loud. Somebody was living out loud. They was showboating. They was showing off. Somebody was living out loud. But they should have been trying to get into alignment. But they weren't. They were just trying to see what they could get, what they could receive. Now somebody understands that's where they went wrong. And they're upset. They're upset because they tried to give you a lot less than what you were worth. They tried to give you a lot less than what you were worth. They also tried to get creative. They thought that they could get creative with you because they felt like, either you don't really need it or you can go ahead and get it again. Whatever it was, they felt safe getting creative with you. And they felt like you would surrender to whatever they was talking about because they was like the apple of your eye. But somebody was in for a rude awakening. Very rude. Now somebody wants some for forgiveness because what goes on in the dark is going to come to the light. And this is that season. The light bulb is on. And everything that they've done, everything that they said, all those actions, it's all manifesting around them. And they can't get from underneath that dark cloud if they tried. This is what has caused them to be torn all the way down. This is like that phoenix rising. They're going to have to rebuild themselves all the way back up because they weren't being true to who they were. And they definitely weren't being true to you. Give me 3 cards on this, and then we'll go to the Kipper. What's the message? Okay, that's more than 3. Yeah, because somebody's pleasure, it's like it took them too far. They went too far. They did too much of something that it didn't work. Everything was burned to the ground. Like I said, this person they was wearing a mask. They was trying to create something. They was trying to do something, and they thought that they could get away with it because you have that fearless love. Hola, Marcia. Thank you. See, this is somebody who resisted change. They resisted growing up. They resisted doing the right thing. They resisted, liberating themselves away from the people that were having them do the wrong thing. Because this is somebody, who knew the difference between right and wrong. But now it's time for somebody to liberate themselves. Because, like I said, everything that they did, everything that they said, it's coming back in. This is somebody who needs to get some type of healing. This is somebody who needs to face these battles head on, and these battles are within this person. They're not on the outside of this person. They are on the inside of this person. These are this person's internal struggles, which causes them to do outwardly things. It's time. Somebody needs to seek some sort of guidance. Let's see what's going on today in the 3D, and then we'll do the other ones to see what's going on, how our ancestors are helping us in the 5D. The bottom of the deck, something about this official person. And it's odd that this official person is a 22, and this first card that came out was a 22. And I feel like this is something confirmation. This official person is someone who is making this who's like guiding or making or establishing or noticing or remarking or something about this person who was in this resistance nature. Something about this official person, because they could see that someone was in despair. It's almost like this is like they could see maybe this wealthy man was in despair because something that they was working on, not just working on, but maybe they was, putting in a little bit too much work to accomplish something. They was working too hard. When you working too hard, you trying to convince somebody too much, it sounds suspect. They wanted to show that they was the person who was of high honor. But actually what happened was they was found to be a thief. They were found out. They were found out by this official person. And the official person cannot officially sweep it under the rug and them not get caught up, because they know what goes on in the dark will come to the light. Someone has these expectations, and it could be they may be going to prison, or they could expect to be locked in their thoughts about this main female and how they either tried to do her in or how this relationship ended. All because somebody wanted this great fortune. All because somebody was willing to do whatever they really didn't want to do, but because that great fortune was there, they was going to take a risk. Oh, okay. Marcia, and I'll pull some cards on you, okay? See, somebody got this concern, a message of concern about this house, and this is what could have got them caught up. Maybe somebody forge some documents or something like that, or try to do something like, but somehow this privileged lady is the one who's getting this unexpected income because of some relationship, or they've proven themselves to be the one, the one. And this main male sees that this privileged lady, that is a gift. And now this change has caused somebody to be in bad health because they see the judgment is actually going against them. Not just judgment going against them, but they see that now they're on their own. Something about these documents. And how this mature woman, an older woman, older than the privileged lady, older than the main female. But something about these documents, these official documents, has this person concerned about this child. And maybe about how this person talked about this child's life, or how this child was dirty all the time, didn't have anything, maybe didn't really have any shoes, and blah, 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 and was talking about somebody else's family business, but they didn't know what the fuck they was even talking about. They was just saying something just to hear themselves talk. And now, in the not too distant future, this message, somebody's going to get this message, or you're going to hear a message. You're going to receive a message from this mature man about this sudden wealth that you're going to be receiving, because it's something about the other people in this family, the other people in this community, or something. I don't know if all of them had to go down the river, or maybe out of everybody, you're the only one that's on their path. You're in your life's purpose, doing what you were told by the Most High God to do. What's the message, Spirit? Something about this wealthy man. He didn't drop out. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Telling you, something about this thief. Something is changing. There's something that's changing. Somebody thought they was getting ready to get a gift because they thought they had it. Oh, I'm gonna do it with this person. I'm gonna get married to this person. I'm gonna have a relationship with this person. We can go on about our business, and that's it. I'm gonna live happily ever after. I ain't got to worry about nothing. Well, maybe not. Good news is you might be right. Leaves nothing. What's the message? Yeah. Somebody that was working on something, they thought they was going to get it, but they're not going to get it. They're getting separated from it because judgment is not going in their favor. They was like, we're going to cash this check. We about to get this money by tomorrow, y'all. What's the message? Ooh, good Lord. That's too many. That's the half the damn deck. Come on, Spirit. What's the message? Give it to me straight. Let me do this. It doesn't want to seem like it don't want to come out, or maybe that's it. Yeah, something because judgment is going in the favor of this privileged lady. Judgment is going in the favor of this privileged lady. Yep. In the not too distant future. Yep. Say less. Do less. Continue to be on your path. And continue to do what you need to do because you about to get some unexpected income, honey. And somebody is concerned that you about to get some sudden wealth, honey. You know, and you might be getting a house, a new house, and a new man. And not just a new man, but a new man that's of high honor. Mm. But see, something about this child was a false person. Even though it looks like a little kid on the card, that don't necessarily mean it was a little kid. This could be somebody who's an adult, but guess what? They getting that karma. Yeah. And they're not doing too good either. They're not doing too good at all. They are sick. Dang near sick to death. Because they thought they was getting ready to do something, take something. They thought that they thought that this mature woman was some official person who had some official weight, who was the one who could say something and that was the truth. They didn't know that this person was the biggest motherfucking lie of all lies. But they getting that message now. Now they're really starting to think. And what is it that they're thinking? They think they fucked themselves. That's what they're thinking. Because a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, could nobody tell you that y'all wouldn't be together, that this would not be a forever relationship, that y'all would not be, doing things together? Could nobody tell you that? But I guess only time. Only time could tell. And what was a loving relationship? What was the relationship that was meant for two people? Two people love each other unconditionally. That has now changed. What's the message? And this child, like I said, could be an adult child. They are in bad health. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, could be physically, financially. Because they was expecting this money and that they was going to get it. But instead, right now, they're experiencing poverty. Somebody could be being sued. They could be being sued by this mature man because of what they was trying to do to this main female. And this secret that this community knew about, and then this relationship that somebody was in, and they thought they was getting ready to do this, But like I said, this main male is really concerned, really, really concerned, because the news that they got and the person who delivered that news shook them to the core. And there's nothing that they can do because You've already left. You've already said goodbye. You've already said, I'm not looking back. You've already said there's nothing I can do for you. And now that this person understands that they're going to have to go to prison for the things that they chose to do. And they can't even call you. It's like you won't know they're there. If they need something, you won't care. If they're hurt, you don't want to know. And if they don't make it, you definitely don't want to go. All because they decided that they wanted to work with this person instead. They felt like this person had the in, that this person knew the way, that this person was honorable and righteous. But when they checked into it and they got that message, that's when everything changed. Hey, still standing. Anything else? Thank you. Yeah. Everybody in this community, everybody that worked with this person, everybody's concerned because they know everybody's going down. They know this person that's going down is not taking one for the team. They know everybody is going down. I gotta turn. Speaking of going down, I gotta turn this air down. I'm starting to get hot. And now that they know everybody's going down, they trying to scatter like flies. Everybody want to go this way, that way, this way, that way. They don't need to catch us all together. You know how stupid y'all are. They already dropped the dime. They already said who you were. They already showed the pictures. And y'all gonna scatter. What make it more expensive for the marshals? Just be in one group. So and just send 2 marshals as opposed to having to send 2 marshals to 22 different places to pick all y'all up. Do you know how expensive that is for taxpayers? I mean, don't think of yourselves this damn time. You done thought of yourselves every other time. Damn, give us a break. Let's see what else is happening. See what's happening in the heavens with our archangels and our ancestors. Something about that player, the player from the Himalayas. They thought they was smooth, baby. They didn't think nobody could see them doing nothing. And they said ain't nobody gonna notice. Ain't nobody gonna see nothing. Chill. I got this. Last thing they remember saying was, hold my beer. I said, I'm getting ready to go teach somebody a lesson. They rolled up their sleeves. They said, hold my beer. Because they walked up in there thinking they was perfect. Like they could take a boo-boo with the door open and wouldn't nobody know that they just took a big old dump. Like they stuff just did not smell. Only to find out that Oopsie. Everything that you did, got to come back somehow. And they don't have nobody to blame except for themselves because they was the one who was the driving force, them and that negative energy that they wanted to display. And they wanted to do it to somebody at home. Somebody who was always there to greet them, very hospitable. Talk about somebody waiting on your hand and foot. This is somebody who said, yes, I can do that. If they gave their word was their bond. This is somebody who took care of themselves. This is somebody who took care of them. This is somebody who took care of who had took the loyalty and their commitment and their vows very seriously. Only to find out that the motherfucker that they was with was only worried about themselves. Always trying to control a situation. But this time, something got out of control. And there was some attention that was brought on a whole entire situation. And really, you know what? It was like a reoccurring message. And people started to look at things differently. Like you. Because all they saw was that you was shining and they actually expected something else. They ain't hear no witch cantations or no boil and all that bullshit, no talking about, you got herbs, like that, and nothing, and you make up those spice packs. No, they didn't hear none of that shit. They was expecting to hear that shit, but that's not what happened. What they heard was you talking about God. What they heard was you talking about living right, loving your neighbor as you love yourself. What they heard was you talking about the truth is the way to go. That's what they heard. They was told that you was greedy. They was told that all you did was try and get things and take things and everything else. But now someone sees that somebody else was just trying to cause some conflict. That was it. I mean, because truth of the matter is, you were a leader. You have always been a leader. That's been proven time after time after time after time after time. You have always risen to the occasion. You have never shirked away from your responsibilities. It may have been rough. It may have been tough. It may have been hella difficult, but you did it. Something about somebody in your family, your ancestors is letting you know that somebody in your family was trying to snake you. If somebody was going to snake you because they didn't think that you was going to be able to survive. And this is just what they did to play. This is somebody that was in their darkest of darkest of darkest energies, and they just wanted to play with you and your life. Well, looky there. Who do we have here? A witch. Somebody, I said, somebody didn't think that they would be seen. Somebody thought that they could guide somebody, but nobody would know who was actually guiding this person. But all that changed. All of it, because people started to explore you and what you were talking about. And people see that you are definitely in your purpose. They see that God visits you. And they also looked at this other person who definitely has some sort of addiction and has some sort of, what do they call it? Something to grind, something to axe to grind with you. But see, this person was walking around telling everybody that you had the addiction. This is somebody that was walking around causing drama and saying it was you. This is somebody who tried to take the limelight off of them to put it on you. This is somebody who worked hard to change the perception of people's opinions of you. And this is somebody who did everything they could to compete with you. But now this is the same person that you have forgiven time and time and time and time and time again, and you still forgive this person. You just don't deal with this person. And now everybody is understanding that there's a whole backstory to this. And they're seeing, they're starting to understand it as everything that appears is not how it really is, because these people are looking at you and they see you for who you are. You're very conscientious. You're an earth angel. You're very wholesome. You uplift people. You're kind. You do this. You do that. You don't ask of them to do anything. When people interact with you, they feel like they are around kindred spirits. And this is what somebody is noticing about you. Not just noticing, but it is extremely important. This person also sees that it's important, an important message, that in order for you to preserve, you had to disconnect. Disconnect from the snake who never wanted you to survive because they was playing some sick, sadistic, warped, crazy game. This is somebody who's into the dark arts. Can't make this up. Somebody who's into the dark arts. This is somebody who, you know what? And it's like they thought that you was an easy mark because you're always at home. You're very hospitable. If they needed you to do anything, you would go ahead and do it and wouldn't even question as to, baby, why do you need me to pick up some bat wings for? What you need that for? We don't like to really eat bat wings, baby. Isn't it hard on the digestive system? I think I saw on NPS it was, or was that PBS? Something like that. How about just some chicken feet instead? Will that work for you? I'll get you that. Let me put my shoes on. I'll go on down the road, see if the barber's got some chicken feet. But I don't really want to do no bat wing for you, baby. Okay? Okay, since you throwing that fit, I'll see if I can drive around 50 miles and get you some fucking bat wing. Some bat wing, baby. But this time it was different. This time your ancestors had said, wait, wake up. I said, don't believe this wise guy. This motherfucker's lying. Lying. Listen to how they pronounce their R's. That's how you can tell they're lying. What's the message? What's the message? Whoa, that's a lot. Because they thought because you family, you love them, you would never, ever think that they would do anything so monstrous to you. And then they would be nowhere to be found when something happened. But see, out of nowhere, here you are, and you just happen to be around kindred spirits who are looking out for your best interest. Kindred spirits to know you're on your purpose. Someone is visiting. They either visiting you, they calling you, they emailing you, they texting you. Somebody is at a different location who could be a different family member calling you because they related to you. They're calling you and they letting you know, hey, you just need to go and be you. Don't contact this person. Don't worry about this person. Just live your life. Do you because they're the ones who observe some shit. They're the ones who observe this important thing about this addicted person. And they feel that, yes, you do need to preserve yourself by disconnecting. Because they know it was this person's whole thing to cause drama. And they know that they tried to make you look bad, but whenever they did their research, they saw exactly who it was. Somebody's in shock and awe. Somebody knows what flies taste like today because their mouth flew open when they found out. A couple people. Somebody who was like, oh my God, I might have to call the law. And the other person like, damn, I might be getting locked up. And then the other people like, damn, because if they get locked up, we know they're about to squeal. Yes. Somebody thought that they could bring you conflict and you wouldn't be able to tell, you wouldn't know, that you would just be out the picture, but they didn't know you was already out the picture. You was already sitting on your spiritual throne. You can't bring no conflict to somebody who's on your spiritual throne. Come on now. Stop playing. Somebody need to go sit their dumb ass down. Seriously. You have always been the leader in this relationship, the one who's guiding somebody, guiding their child. This could have been, like I said, this could be about the child. You have been a good parent to this motherfucker, guiding this child or whatever, and then correcting the child whenever they needed to be corrected, telling this child that, hey, to be a leader, not a follower, making sure that this child takes care of themselves and say, hey, recognize this, recognize that, but instead, the player come in. The player with all their little games and they slick moves, wearing a little ring on the pinky finger and shit like that. Thinking they got all the cards, like they hold all the cards. They ain't hold this card. They ain't hold this one. Sure didn't. And they sitting here trying to act like nothing's bothering them. Oh, trust me, they bothered. They may not be running around up and down the street in they underwear screaming like they bothered like that, but the motherfuckers is bothered, trust and believe me. Because see, they were sitting there thinking that nobody would think that, they was the ones who was doing it, but they wasn't. They thought they was having some innocent communication and they could drive a whole conversation. No, boo, no. And somebody let them. Somebody let them talk. And they saw, look at you. Look at you. Look at you starting shit. Somebody let them talk and said, look at you starting shit. That's when they was busted. Busted! I don't know why I'm hearing, what's his name song? What's his name? The Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar. Busted! When I said busted. Anyway, what's the message spirit? And they want some forgiveness. They having faith that you can forgive them because they, like I said, that this could be one of your children or something. And but the whole thing is, there's a whole backstory to this. This wasn't just once. This probably wasn't even twice. You got 10 swords lined up and down on your wall, hanging on your wall, from the times that you had these near-death experiences, for the times when somebody was stabbing you, trying to stab you in your back, throw you to the wolves. So there's a whole backstory. You may have to let court get involved. You may have to let that dog see his day. Every dog sees their day. And it's going to be hard, but you're going to have to remember what somebody did to try and take you down, to try and obliterate you, to try and remove you, to try and hurt and harm you. Just remember, you are that peace. And this person knows that you are that peace. You've always been that peace. This person knows that. They know this. But for whatever reason, they thought they was going to get their kicks and their jollies with somebody who didn't give a fuck about them. Now it's not so fun anymore. Now it's not so fun. Now somebody's asking for a sign from God. They're asking for a sign from God because they're like, if you can give me one more chance, God, I swear this time things is going to be different. I'm going to do things different. I swear, I promise, God, give me a chance. I'm going to do shit different. But see, something has already been told. Something has already been spoken. Someone is hoping that with their personality that they can kind of get out of it. If they show that they got such a nice young person. Oh, such a mannerable young manner lady. Oh my gosh, look how mannerable. The whole time this motherfucker is a player. Playing on people's emotions. Their pockets, their time, their energy, playing with their kids. Somebody can't sleep. They can't eat. All they can think about is what they was doing, trying to take you down, and how they are being dismantled, bit by bit, piece by piece, minute by minute, day by day. And they expected you to do something. Not this time. This time, they're going through this hardship by themselves. This time, you've done enough. It's time to end somebody feeling like they are so privileged. They can do what the fuck it is they want to do and say what they want to say and act how disrespectful they want to act, and nobody's going to take them down. That's different. It's different now, because now people are turning their back on this person, especially now that they know what that person's objective was, to cause all this drama, and how this person creatively painted you to be some druggie, some alcoholic, some this, some absentee parent. It's not like you would just disappear for days and leave them at home alone, and that's why they had to grow up fast and bullshit like that. Shit that never even fucking happened. Shit that never even fucking happened. This person had a fucking privileged life. This person had a fucking privileged life. You was always a great role model for this person. Always a great role model for this person. And you worked hard to make this person feel good about themselves. But apparently you worked a little too hard. Because now this motherfucker is vain. Stuck on self. All they can see is themselves. That's it. Something is off with their compass. Somebody thought that you was going to jump in there and do something. Miss me with that. I don't have no legal issues. I don't have no legal bills. Just because you got them now, that's a you issue, not a me. See, somebody's starting to see things differently now. They was looking at things like this before, but now they starting to see things differently now. Especially whenever court comes up, and that help people to see things totally differently. When you get served and you get locked up, now shit, blinders come off, bells is lifted, spells is undone, everything, because you waking up like, damn, I'm for real behind fucking bars. Like, what did I do to get here? Somebody, you remember everything that you did to this person who was just a peaceful person. This is somebody who they didn't like because this person was a peaceful person. They read, maybe they were a tarot reader. They had a wonderful personality, and they're very optimistic. But they liked all these things except for the part that this person was a tarot reader. That's the part they didn't like, because they didn't want this person to be able to read them and the bullshit that they was cooking up. See, they thought they was going to be able to get away with a life of crime, but you know what? If you related to somebody who's a tarot reader and they earth angel and they own their shit, oh, you can't, no, because their earth angel gonna be like, Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. And I'm calling 911 on your thieving ass. You better think it all over. Think it all over. Yes. Yeah. Let me find out you robbed a bank. Yeah. Hello, 911. Hurry up. This little lying thieving motherfucker is right here. I ain't trying to do no aid in the bed and no none of that shit. None of that shit. Now I will take that what is it called? The finder's fee or something? If there's a what's it called? You know you gotta call it in a certain way. A reward. I will take that reward though, because if I gotta call it in what way? Okay, well, hang up. No, I'm gonna have them run. I'm gonna put them in a different safe house until I can get this reward straight. What's the master spirit? Anything else? Okay. See, yes, because see, you know what? This person, you were always of service, always of service. And this person thought that they could somehow get rid of you, make you gone, make you ghost, make you go bye-bye. But they couldn't do it. This big ass chicken, they couldn't do it. Because they ain't got the heart. They don't have the heart. And when people found out what the fuck this person was doing, they said, oh, bye-bye, nigga. Bye. Or, nigga, wigger, whatever. For the Mexican ones, migger, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody was trying to act like, no, you remember it was like this. No, it was like this. I had that. I had to fight for everything I had. You remember how it was? You remember somebody was trying to get somebody else to be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember. But that person said, no, that wasn't like that at all. If this person ever told you anything, this person told you what was right. If this person ever scolded you, they scolded you because they loved you, because it was the right thing to do, because they wanted you to go on the right road. If they said this, if they said that, if they did this, if they did that, it's because it was the right thing to do. This person was teaching you between right and wrong. They was like, this person was letting you know between right and wrong. But somewhere along the way, someone decided to change. They felt like they couldn't be you. They didn't want to be you. They didn't want to be you. They wanted to do other things, and so that they could just survive. Get out there in them spiritual streets and get dirty with it, and this and that and the other, and then they have to survive. The spirit said, "Okay, here you go, blood. Now you got your wish. You get to go on out there in them spiritual streets, and good luck surviving." And even though you sit here and trying to tell everybody about your backstory, your personal story, how life was and why you deserve a break and this and that and the other, you're going to quickly find out that the world is a cold, hard place because ain't nobody going to give a damn. Ain't nobody going to give a shit. Talk about the perfect lesson. Talk about teaching yourself the perfect lesson. One that you won't ever forget. One that spirit won't ever allow you to forget. Because you screwed your own pooch. Yes, this is happening to somebody now. Because they had some sort of unmet expectation. They was expecting you to do something You did, but not what they expected. They was thinking that they was going to cause some type of drama for you. But you showed them. What you did was you held that mirror up to them to reflect to them what they're looking at. Because they ain't looking at you. That ain't you, that's them. When you left, you said peace. What's the message? Mm-hmm. Karma. Justice. Yep. Now everybody's looking at that person. Everybody's looking at that person, knowing what they did, who was the leader, or whatever, and everybody is laughing. The whole town's laughing at me. Mm-hmm. Silly boo, how you lose such a good thing. Yep, the whole town. Oh well, sure do hate it, but if you like it, I love it. Somebody thought they was gonna mess around in some dark energy. Good luck with that one. You'll get what you give. Bottom of the deck. We'll do this one. Eight of Pentacles. Working on their craft. Oh, I was gonna say working on their craft. There's somebody. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody was trying to really screw you over. They was working on something hard. They was like obsessed with this shit. This King of Cups ain't got no feet near no water. They don't have no emotions for you, nothing. Not a drop. And everything that this person thought that they was working on, that they was gonna do, ain't nothing but building up, ain't nothing working because news came back on them. See, they tried to say something about you, but that shit came right on back. When you spoke your truth, you was like, oh, really? Oh, what? Really? Well, ask them to explain those 40 panda bears in the basement and all that bamboo that grows outside. Ask them to explain that shit. Ask them. See, they didn't know. And now that's why they're looking at you. They're looking at you hard. They're studying everything. They spying on you. And somebody knows they had to put some shit to rest. This lie. The four with the five, or the four of swords with the page of swords. That's 5 swords right there. They know they had to put this lie to rest. Mm-hmm. They know this is a big, bold-faced lie, lie, lie. And this shit had been going on for a while. Somebody been saying this shit for a while, but you know what? That shit is over now. That shit is over. Somebody has a new lease on life. They really do. Somebody has a new lease on life, and they're going out there. They are going to claim their happiness. It's like this person is getting ready to go out here and make her money. You know, whatever she's got to do, she's getting ready to throw some money making magic out there, whatever, and grow her empire. Grow her empire, and then that way she knows to protect herself against these people that were naysayers at first, those who didn't see her worth or his worth, however the shoe fits. Hey James, hey Biscuit, you know. And now somebody knows the truth. Everybody knows the truth. How somebody was some type of deep, dark, dungeonous warlock who wanted to try and cause somebody harm. You know, somebody and was causing, causing this page, this child or whatever for conflict. See, they sat there and said, you were some type of witch or whatever, and that's how you could be successful and on your own. But that's not the truth. Witches don't talk about loving God and loving your neighbor and doing right by people, and you don't need that dark bullshit. Witches don't talk like that. They say the exact opposite. Now somebody feeling all overburdened and stressed because the truth is coming out about what the fuck they just said. Somebody else acting like they don't want to be with you because of this and that and the other. Now this motherfucker look all stupid and dumb. This motherfucker, that's the same motherfucker having financial problems. And wait, they figuring out now you was the gift. You got your money. I was on my way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm on my way up. Okay? And not just that, but you said, oh, and kiss my high, yellow, black, white, tan, red, blue, green, whatever color ass while you at it. Kiss it where the sun don't shine. And I don't mean for you to enjoy it either. Now that same child that thought they was going to get you for $1 million, now they have a financial problem. They shocked. I don't know why they shocked. They didn't know how spiritually protected you were. They didn't know that you work with the light and the dark energies, baby. They did not fucking know. But they know now. And what else do they know? The reason that they butthole is sore is because they fucked themselves when they tried fucking you. What's the message? Okay, wait a minute now. Something about that 10 of Pentacles, but it didn't pop out. It didn't, but they just, I'm telling you, the 10 of Swords did. They know they caused this because they was coming for you. They was trying to do this to you. This King of Cups was going to try and snake you. But you knew the truth. You spoke the truth. You was even still willing to talk to this person. Look, your hand is out. You were still willing to talk to this person until this person was acting all crazy. That's when you was like, oh, hold up, hold up. I don't know who the hell you think that you are. No, more importantly, I don't know who the hell you think I am. I ain't want your little friends. That's who the fuck I am. I ain't want your little friends. I'm the motherfucker that will get next to you and pop your ass. That's who I am. They didn't know, but they figuring the shit out. They figuring the shit out that you was not one of their little friends. Trying to act all prideful and boastful, thinking they could just throw some bullshit magic your way until you closed that cycle and said, you know what, on to bigger and better, baby. You need something? Get it from your friends. What's the message? Yeah. See, they didn't think that this communication, they thought, whatever. I'm going to throw this out there and I'm be gone. Because something better's coming around for me. They didn't realize that communication they threw out there, talk about came back. This is instant karma, okay? Here's the infinity right here, and here's the 8 of Wands. That communication, that shit that they threw out there came back on them instantly. Instantaneously. Whatever somebody was trying to do, it was immediately a hell to the no. Okay? They thought they was going to leave you. That's going to kick you to the curb. spit on you, maybe throw a fart your way and go on and be happy somewhere else? Is that what you thought? Is that how it's supposed to work out? Is that what happens in real life? No, it's not. It's not. That's what they thought. Well, that's what they thought. But we now know it's not. It's not. Now somebody want to be saved. I want to be saved. I want to be saved. Y'all know I don't know the words. I want to be saved. That's what somebody, because they know they got themselves in quite a little quandary here. And everybody's looking at them. Not just looking at them, but they talking about, man, that was really immature, don't you think? We know who did this shit. Now somebody want to be healed, and they feeling that, and you the healer. You the one with all the damn band-aids, and they're trying to figure out if they can come and ask for a band-aid from you. They little hurt. They got in them a little boo-boo. They want to sit there and say, we supposed to be together. But you got your back to them. You was like, we was supposed to be together. You're correct. We was supposed to be together. But you had your ass all up on your shoulders, so we was supposed to be together. You're correct. See? What's the message? Now somebody want to say you are the wish fulfillment. I bet. What's the message? Like somebody want to give you crumbs. Now they want to come and they want to be like, baby, baby, baby. I know I gave you crumbs from me. Oh, baby, baby. I want to marry. I don't know the words, y'all. Y'all know I don't know the words. But somebody's like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not trying to go down this road again because I'm not trying to do no heartbreak. Fuck all that bullshit. Like, people got lives, People got shit to do. Shit, I got to go to the grocery store after I leave here. People got shit to do. We ain't got time to play like that. It's too hot outside. Shit. Yeah. See, you got your peace when you walked the fuck away. After you walked away, you was like, I'm good. I'm peaceful. I'm happy. And now they want to come towards you because after you walked away, then they saw you was the true blue. You the real deal, holy feel. You are. They can't make this up. You are balanced. You are healing. You are kind. You funny. You smart. You sexy. All that shit. All of it. Got a good heart. Small feet and all that shit. All that shit. You all that. And they sitting here worried about how they was acting the fool. Yes, you should be worrying about how you was acting the fool. Especially this person talking about some, and I may have been talking a little crazy, a little reckless, a little. What the fuck you would consider a little? Like 52 truckloads? Is that a little reckless and crazy? Okay. Well, then that would be a little then. But you was talking way, and then too stubborn to come apologize. Didn't know they asshole from their nose. Really, they didn't. They cheated themselves out they spot. They cheated themselves out the spot. They don't realize they cheated themselves. They lost an entire family. The one thing that they wanted, It's the one thing they lost. They wanted a family. They wanted, this is somebody who cheated them. I can't repeat this enough. And now here you are, you're like, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. No, because every time you come and you coming with some bullshit. No, no, no. Mm-hmm. Mm. Can't make that up. What's the message? They out in the cold. They thought they was going to leave you out in the cold. They thought they was going to get a new family. They was going to leave you out in the cold. Like, all right, thanks for your hard work, dedication, and loyalty, but you're no longer needed. All right, see ya. Security, get them out of here. Get them out of here now. Just throw them on the street. We don't give a shit about them anymore. Just throw them on the street. Throw that shit out too. You ain't even got to put it in a bag. Just throw the shit out too. Just throw it. It's glass. Throw it far. So we know it broke. Throw it real far. Contacts, squish on them. Squish them with your heel. Mm-hmm. They're okay. They're okay. They're okay. It's just blood. Blood will coagulate. That's the one thing that I read in the book. Blood eventually coagulates unless it's a main artery. If it's a main artery, scoot them down the street. We don't want that shit in front of our place. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Somebody wanted this happiness because that's what they see that you are. Once you walked away, you happy, you fine, you blessed, you know, stress. And this person, once again, here they was holding back, trying to hold back from you, from an earth angel. Well, how did that work? How did that work out? How did that work out? Now they sitting here watching you become an empress, doing your thing, shaking your booty on Soul Train and shit like that. And defensive against this person, you like, no, because no, that's your bed. You made your bed, you lie in it. You made your own bed, you lie in it. This is somebody who, like I said, they could be going to prison or something. That looked like a pretty big building in the background. Mm-hmm. Somebody got to go to court. Somebody has to go to court. And I'm going to tell you something. Somebody is going to be found guilty because they broke the law. They broke the law. And this is going to just crush this person. This person spent so much time, so much energy, so many resources, so much, put so much into this person. It's going to absolutely crush this person. This could be the death of this person. To know that this young energy that he's trying to raise right is going to be locked up. You know, it's like trying to let somebody feel good, like they are the winner, that they are, you good, you important, you smart, you know, whenever there was a kid, but there were certain things that this person missed. Love, respect, integrity, honesty, things like that. And it's like, for whatever reason, that person would not listen to somebody who was telling the truth, and saying, hey, listen, don't follow the crowd. Do not follow the crowd because they're going to offer you something, but it's going to be something that's going to get you messed up. And that was the truth. This person followed the crowd around some money. about some type of property or something like that, not knowing somebody was lying, not somebody was knowing somebody's going to throw them underneath the bus, and then it happened. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Yeah, the law. Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow. So I feel like somebody, they are pinpointed, they get locked up, for their crimes, they get locked up, but then there's this kid that's left back there. Like they got a child and you can't take the child with them. And so the same person who said, "Oh, follow me." Now this person is like, "I'll take care of the child. You ain't got to worry about it." And so this is now a cycle repeating itself. This is why somebody is so upset, because they held back from telling this earth angel what was going on. They instead of them exhibiting courage, they held back from exhibiting some courage and telling somebody what somebody was lying to them about, trying to get them to do, trying to do this, trying to do that. Instead, what they did was they was trying to hold this person back because they was afraid that this person was going to be able to see exactly what they was doing. Now they hoping that cup of love still runneth over, even though they don't deserve it. Somebody could be getting locked up for maybe up to 7 years, 7 to 8 years. And this just devastates his family. All because somebody wanted to hold back from a Queen of Cups. Maybe from a mother. They didn't want to get they didn't want to tell their mother because somebody said, "Don't tell your mama because, there's getting somebody just to do this old wild shit. Don't tell your mama because da 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 da." So somebody thinking, okay, well, I got a secret. I'm not going to say nothing. And, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to guard this with my life. But they're not realizing there was shit that they should have talked about to keep them out of trouble. All that shit now they want to get back in. Now they want to work to get out of the cold. Anything else? Mm-hmm. It's almost like they're still having this internal struggle, about the communication that they had before with you or whatever, and things that they said about you, things that they said about your relationship, But now this person has a deeper understanding, a much deeper understanding, and wants to move things forward with you. But once again, they don't know if it's going to happen because of how they acted, of how they just was like, "Fuck you, bye. I don't care. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Talk to the hand, talk to the hand, talk to the hand." But they don't feel like that now. Now they want your handout. Now they want your handout because they realize who you are. And this could be that they even ganged up with a Sagittarius and a Leo, this is part of your family, to fight against you and cause some type of confusion to have you out in the cold, and so that they could work to like replace you, so somebody else could get the accolades of, oh yes, da 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 da, or work to have you off yourself so that they can get some type of money, or this gift or something like that. I don't know, it's crazy, y'all. But I'm gonna leave it right there. Getting ready to get me something to eat. And I'll be back a little bit later. I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I will see y'all soon. Thank you.